Hi everyone, my name's Jay, I'm a physiotherapist and I help people manage their joint pain.
I'm James and I've had rheumatoid arthritis and ankylosing spondylitis since my early 20s.
So today we're going to go through a series of exercises focused on building the strength and improving the mobility of our hip joints. We're not going to need a great deal of space for these exercises and I want you to make sure to go at your own pace with these. Everyone's different. If you've got any questions about any of the exercises, then do speak to your healthcare professional. So, should we get started?
Let's get it started.
So we're going to start with the hip flexion exercise. For this exercise, you're going to need something sturdy to lean on. But before we begin, let's set our posture. So let's stand up nice and tall through the neck, chest proud, shoulders relaxed behind our backs. We're going to hold onto the chair and gently raise the knee to about 90 degrees where we'll hold for 5 seconds before gently returning back down and working the other side. Let's go with this one then, James. We're going to do 3 rounds of 5-second holds. So we'll gently lift the knee up and hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently return and then onto the opposite side. Hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently return. Now, if you find this uncomfortable holding for 5 seconds, that's fine. Hold it till it feels uncomfortable and then come back down. How are we feeling there, James?
Really feeling this one in my hips.
Good stuff. And hold there. Last 3 seconds on this side. 2, 1, back down. And last repeats each leg. Hold up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're doing brilliant, everyone. And again, last hold. Nice and strong in that leg. And steady back down. Great. Our second exercise is going to be the hip extension. We're going to keep that stable surface next to us because we're going to use it for this exercise. We'll start by facing the surface. We're going to maintain that nice tall posture. Gently lift the foot off the ground. Keeping the knee straight, we'll extend it behind us and squeeze those bum muscles. We'll hold that position for 5 seconds before returning and doing the same on the opposite side. So, let's give it a go, James. Starting up nice and tall, let's extend that leg behind us, squeeze those bum muscles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently return and let's work the opposite side. Squeeze those bum muscles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently return. How are we getting on there, James?
I'm doing good, but I definitely won't be able to do this without a bit of support.
That's fine. We're not doing these exercises to test your balance. They're to strengthen up those bum muscles, which are going to help us with day-to-day tasks, such as walking, getting up and down stairs, walking up steep hills as well. Last one on this side is come back, squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great stuff. And now the heel to buttock exercise. Staying with a nice stable surface to our side. For this exercise, we're going to be nice and tall. Keep the knees in line with each other. We'll bend one knee, lifting the heel up to the bum. We'll hold that position for 5 seconds before gently returning down and working on the opposite side. Are you ready, James?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Up nice and tall and we'll bend that knee, lift the heel to the bum, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. And again on the opposite side, let's lift up, keeping nice and tall, keeping those knees in line, steadily back down. And up again.
Am I doing it right like this?
You're doing it great there, James. Hold that position and steady back down. We're halfway through. Lift up and hold there for 5 seconds. Doing great. And steady down. Last time through each leg. Really starting to feel it, working the muscles on the back of the thigh there. Steady down. And let's lift up. Stay nice and tall. We're nearly done. And back down. Brilliant. Next up is the hip abduction. So for this one, sticking to that stable surface, We're going to be nice and tall, keeping the hips in line. We're gently going to raise our leg out to the side. We'll hold in that position for 5 seconds before gently returning back down. We'll do 3 repeats of 5 seconds on each side. Let's get into it, James.
Let's go.
So, up nice and tall, hips in line. Let's gently take that leg out to the side. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently return. And again, let's lift the hip out to the side. Hold in that position. Great stuff. And steady back down. Now, we're using a chair for this one. You might be using a table or your worktop. That's absolutely fine. And steady back down. Let's switch sides. Okay, onto the opposite side, and let's lift up and squeeze those abductor muscles. 3, 2, 1, steady back down. And again, squeezing those abductor muscles, super important muscles for our hip joints, these. That's it. And once again, really good for our balance, our stability when we're walking or doing difficult tasks. That's great. Now we're going to get into the squats. Again, we're going to need a stable surface for this. James and I are going to use a nice strong chair. We're going to start by facing the surface, our feet hip width apart and flat on the ground. We're gently going to bend our knees, keeping a neutral spine throughout. I want you to come down as low as feels comfortable before pressing through the feet to stand up tall once again. You ready to give it a go, James?
Let's go.
Let's try get 10 reps here. So, nice and tall, feet flat on the ground. Let's bend the knees, slowly come down with a neutral spine, and then press through the feet to stand up tall once again. And once again, let's come down into that squat, press through the feet, standing up nice and tall. Doing great there, James. Remember, go at your own pace with this one. Come down as low as you feel comfortable. Keep that neutral spine. Pressing through the feet to stand up nice and tall.
So what is this working then?
So this is working all the muscles around the hip joint, the buttock muscles and the thigh muscles. We're also getting some gentle motion through the knees. Looking great there, James. You might notice some clicking and cracking of the joints. If that's not painful, then we're not too fussed. But if it is, then just go a little bit less into the squat. Last one. Great stuff. The next few exercises we're going to do are going to be laid down. You can use the floor, a sofa, or your bed.
I'm going to use the sofa.
So let's safely lay down.
Just going to put my weight on the side, shift myself over, before turning around.
Now, the first exercise we're going to go through is going to be the quadriceps exercise. For this one, we're going to straighten both our knees. We're going to engage our abdominal muscles, pull our toes to our nose, and tighten up through our thigh muscles on the front. We'll hold that position for 5 seconds before relaxing and repeating again. Now, James and I are going to work both legs at the same time, but if you want to, you can just go one at a time. Are you ready to go, James?
I'm ready to go.
Let's go for 5 repeats, 5 seconds. So, engage through the abdominal muscles, pull the toes to the nose, squeeze through those thigh muscles at the front and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. And again, engage those abs, toes to nose, squeeze through the thighs and hold there. 3, 2, 1, relax back down. And again, engage the core, pull the toes to the nose and tighten those thigh muscles. Hold that for another 3, 2, 1, relax back down. And let's go again. Pull those toes to the nose, squeeze those thighs, really strengthening those quadriceps muscles at the front of the thighs. and relax. This one's going to help us with daily tasks such as getting out of bed, walking, getting up and down stairs also. Hold there and relax. Well done everyone. We're going to stay on the floor for our next exercise. This is going to be the knee hug. So we'll begin by straightening both knees. We're gently going to raise one knee up before hugging it and pulling it in towards the chest. We'll hold this position for 5 seconds before gently dropping it back down and repeating onto the other side. Now, if you struggle lifting your knee up to your chest, we can always slide that foot first before you grab the thigh and pull it up. You ready to go with this one, James?
Let's hug some knees.
Okay then, let's bring that knee up. 3 repeats on each side now. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently return. And then onto the opposite side. Let's hug and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat on the first leg again. How are we doing there, James?
It's good. It's a little bit of a stretch to get hold of the knee.
If that's the case, you can always grab hold of the back of your thigh and slowly return. Let's grab the back of the thigh there, James. That an easier?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Great stuff. And slowly return. Last one each side. Let's hug the knee up to the chest. Hold there and return. Final one. Hug that knee up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's that. An alternative to the knee hugs is the heel slide. So for this exercise, we're going to start with our knees straight. We're going to slowly draw one heel as close to the bum as possible and steadily back down again before repeating onto the other side. So let's go for it, James. We'll go for 3 rounds each leg. And gently slide that heel as close to the bum as comfortable and gently back down. Let's go to the other side, sliding that heel up and gently down again. 2 more to go, sliding up and gently back down. And again, sliding up and gently back down. Last one each side. Let's draw that heel up close towards your bum and back down. And final one, draw that heel up and back down. There we go. Now the bridging exercise. For this one, we're going to need to bend our knees about 90 degrees. We'll have our feet planted firmly on the ground, hip width apart, shoulders relaxed on the ground. From here, we're going to squeeze through our buttock muscles, driving our hips up towards the ceiling so we've got a nice straight line from knees, hips and shoulders. We'll hold that position before gently returning back down. You ready to go with these, James?
Let's get started.
We'll go for 3 repeats of 5-second holds. So let's relax those shoulders, plant the feet, squeeze the buttock muscles, drive those hips up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax back down. And again, plant through the feet, squeeze the buttock muscles, drive those hips up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. This is a great exercise for building strength in the back of the hips, back of the thighs. And hold that position. Really good for improving our balance also. Let's come back down. Brilliant, everyone. Right, our final hip exercise. We're going to work the external hip rotation. We'll stay layered on our backs, knees 90 degrees and feet flat on the ground. We're going to slowly let one knee fall out to the side as far as is comfortable before returning to the centre and working the opposite side. How does that sound, James?
How far should I be moving my knee down?
Just go as far as you feel comfortable before you start to get the stretch. So we're going to go for 5 repeats on each side. And Let's slowly lower that hip down and then return back up to the center. Back to the opposite side now, slowly lowering down and return up to the center. This is a brilliant movement for the hips, something that we don't always do day to day, but it's still really important for our hip mobility. We might use it every now and then if we're going hiking, walking, getting over fences. And return. Doing great, we're nearly there. Getting some nice movement in that hip joint. Bringing some fresh synovial fluid to the hip joint. And back to the middle. And that's us. And that's it, there are hip exercises. We've worked on your flexibility and range of movement of the hip joint. How are you feeling, James?
It was great. I have a lot of problems with my hip, so I'm definitely going to be adding that to my daily routine.
Fantastic. You can also make a commitment to a friend or family member to practice these exercises on a daily basis. In the meantime, keep moving and we'll see you next time.